Yes, greetings to everyone. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening to everyone who is watching. Of course, my name is Ivo Tapang. I am the spokesperson of the Ambazonia Defense Forces. Um, just to wait for a few people to come online before we start the show. So today, I'll be taking, as usual, an intellectual approach, and we'll be talking about international politics that intersects with international diplomacy and exactly how we can affect the struggle. What is the way out? And we are seeing exactly another twist of turns by La République du Cameroon being appointed into the membership of the United Nations Human Rights Commission or Council. And this is a slap in the face of Ambazonia and the wake of the struggle. And this shows that we have to change our tactics. Today will be kind of very brief, maybe less than 30 minutes of a talk show with you. Ambazonians, the people who've kept the struggle very much alive, the people who've pushed the struggle to this point of winning, and the people who've pushed the struggle with all their might and resilience despite little or no resources and little or no capability. We'll be touching more a little bit about the ground zero and how we can act and how we can coordinate from all angles of the world to push ground zero to spur up themselves into more action. We've noticed that people have been transitioning from hit and run to hit and stay. This is a very sad situation that we have to address. It still remains a hidden run tactic, a guerrilla warfare. We shall address that in this edition of the program. Also, we have to talk about how we coordinate ourselves on the social media. It is one of the points that have brought us to this point of the struggle, and it's very pertinent that we understand how we have to relate on the social media and how we have to coordinate ourselves in order to beat La République du Cameroon, because this is our only platform on which we can expedite our victory. Lastly, we should touch more about leadership. Leadership is very, very important in this struggle because within the past few days or past few weeks, we've seen things drifting apart. Now, how do we coordinate ourselves with the leadership? Those are points that we shall attack on this particular edition of the program. Leadership is very important. How do we employ two things, respect and how do we tolerate each other on the social media, despite our diversity, despite our divergent views? Okay, so I want to start by greeting everyone, especially those in Saudi Arabia who should be sleeping at the moment. I want to thank by greeting everyone in the Middle East and also those in Asia, Australasia continent. I want to also greet you guys. But more importantly, I want to greet those on ground zero. I understand that there are all students, all people who've dropped out from school to pick up weapons, people who've dropped their pens and pencils to pick up guns to fight La République du Cameroon because the pens and pencils were not fighting La République du Cameroon adequately, which is a great and laudable move. At this particular point, some people were talking about the elections and how it's going to affect those on the ground. I see some people saying congratulations. Yes, of course, it's Chomsky's birthday, my son, and my only child and my first child. It's his birthday. His birthday was on the 2nd of October, 2018. His first birthday was on the 2nd of October. He was born just a few seconds after the 1st of October. Just a few seconds after the 1st of October, Chomsky, my son, was born. So thank you very much for the birthday wishes and to everyone who thought about him on that particular day. He's doing fine, very strong, active, and very, very handsome. He now speaks. At 1 year old, he now speaks, which is great. And he walks as well. So he's a very strong boy. And I thank you guys for all the birthday wishes and all the things you sent to him. I also appreciate. And I thank you all for thinking about me and my own family because I think about you and your families. By the way, we have to start the program. Today, as I promised, is going to be less than 30 minutes, but very, very rich and impactful. I want to start by addressing Cameroon, La République du Cameroon. This is a country that has a head chopping regime. It is very similar to Saudi Arabia that chops people's heads in public. This is a country that has documented itself on poor human rights records across the international scene. In fact, all member countries in the world condemn Cameroon for its atrocities against the people of Ambazonia in neighboring Ambazonia. This is a country that is responsible for a genocide, a human rights abuse, gross violation of human rights, and crimes against humanity. This is a country that since 2011 has shut down the internet because it wants to cover up its atrocities against the people of Ambazonia. This is a country that has a leadership that has been in power for nearly 30 or 40 years, and that it has a leadership that has a centralized government or centralized governing system for more than half a century. This is a leadership, a country that has a leadership that is completely a dictatorship. This is a country that has a leadership that cracks down on even foreigners in the country. This is a country that has a leadership ranked by Transparency International as the most corrupt country in the world on 3 different occasions in 3 different years. Between 1999, 2000, and 2001, Cameroon was ranked as the most corrupt country on earth in 1999, 2001, and 2002. This is the same country that has been appointed at the helm of the International Human Rights Council, the United Nations Human Rights Council. This is the same country that we are protesting against, standing in front of the White House to talk against. This is the same country that has gone on to be appointed at the helm of the same Human Rights Council that we are lobbying for against Cameroon. It is time we look at the drawing board and see exactly what we are doing and where we are going wrong. Cameroon, just to put it in simpler, clear terms, has an independence that dates back to 1960. Cameroon had its independence in 1960. The people of Southern Cameroons, or former British Southern Cameroons, had their independence in 1961. Cameroon has a very long-standing relations in the international scene. With 2 presidents who have been in power since 1960, Cameroon has built relationships across the entire world with dictators, with Democrats, and with all kinds of international mughals or international gurus. At this particular point, we should understand that Mr. Biya is heavily connected out of Cameroon, heavily connected out of Cameroon with very wealthy people and with countries that are ready to back it in international politics. Most people look at the struggle as if it's a religious struggle. The struggle is not religious. The struggle is political. And politics itself is not moral. Politics is an immoral game. We must not think that the way we think is the same way other states think. In fact, if you go by Hans Morgenthal's laws, he states, there are objective laws that govern political relations. In fact, his second law states, states think and act in terms of interest defined as power. If we go by Hans Morgenthal's second law of politics, he states, states think and act in terms of interest defined as power. Now, all states in the world are thinking in terms of interest, not in terms of your morals, not in terms of whether Mr. Biya is killing who and where, not in terms of whether Mr. Biya is committing what atrocity and in what part of the world, not in terms of whether Mr. Biya is doing the right thing or not. He clearly states, Hans Morgenthau, a realist, a classical realist, he clearly states, states think and act in terms of interest defined as power. What is the interest of other states in La République du Cameroun? They are looking at how they want to sign their oil deals. They are looking on how they want to get resources from Ambazonia. They are looking on how they want to survive their own citizens, because there are 2 basic governing principles in international politics. It's all about security and survival. Can your state survive? Yes, if it can. Or if it cannot, like France. France keeps harboring on depending on Africa for its survival. So don't expect other states that cannot survive on their own to cut off Mr. Biya from their list. It cannot work. They need to have a tangible alternative. States have to look at their own security. If Mr. Biya leaves, what becomes of other states' interest in Central Africa? What about other states that have relations with Chad, with neighboring Congos, with neighboring Central African Republic, and with neighboring Equatorial Guinea? They are looking at the international security crisis that may ensue if Mr. Biya leaves, and that may affect their interest in other neighboring states. For that reason, they would not want to go that low in terms of cutting off relations with Mr. Biya. So those are points you have to look at and how we have to tackle Mr. Biya. On the international scene, I can guarantee you Mr. Biya is heavily connected than we think. Now, if states are thinking in terms of interest defined as power, what is the power they want to achieve? Mr. Biya himself has interest in Ambazonia, and for him to protect his interest in Ambazonia, he wants to define his power. He wants to guard power. He wants to keep power, and he wants to build power. Now, Cameroon being appointed at the helm of the United Nations Human Rights Council, it's a very, very sickening move, and we must, at this particular stage of the struggle, change our tactics. We must stop being moral, because every document that passes through the United Nations Human Rights Council would, of course, be vetted by Cameroon. They would signal Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, let me put it in very short terms, Cameroon. They would signal Cameroon about the documents sent by Ambazonia to protest or to complain about Cameroon's atrocities in Ambazonia. For that reason, Cameroon, being now an inaugurated member of the United Nations Human Rights Commission or Human Rights Council, would vet that document and will not push that document to the right quarters. So already, Cameroon has lobbied itself to block every diplomatic channel that can pass through our message at the United Nations Human Rights Commission or Human Rights Council. This is a very sickening move, and we must play fast in order to beat Cameroon on the game. But the good news is I have a strategy. Now, if we understand the foundation or the bedrock on which we are standing, we have to understand the foundation on which we have to progress on. The foundation we have to progress on cannot be international. We should not think that being moral appeases the international community. No. In fact, in journalism, it is always written, where it bleeds, it leads. We've not been bleeding La République du Cameroun. It is the right time for us to bleed La République du Cameroun for us to lead. If we fail to bleed La République du Cameroun, we shall never lead, and we shall not have independence even in the next 300 years. And here is where I come from. At this particular stage of the struggle, given the circumstances of Cameroon being appointed as a member state of the United Nations Human Rights Council, which has been heavily condemned by other parliamentarians and heavily condemned by other states' diplomats on Twitter, as we've seen and we've reported, as we've posted on our pages, it is not those complaints that will take out Cameroon from that Human Rights Council. Never. Cameroon has a very strong lobby firm. Cameroon has money to pump and bribe citizens or bribe states with. In fact, what La République du Cameroun is doing is that it promises other member states that they will give them these resources in exchange for this. It's all of what we call international bargaining. They are now bargaining internationally with other states in exchange of their own interests. So at this particular stage, we don't have anything to bargain with any other state. In fact, what Ayabacho Lucas, as people said, was trying to bargain. If we have a bargaining chip, we shall win this struggle. If we don't have a bargaining chip, we shall never, ever win the struggle. And at this stage, we don't have one. So what do we have to win? It's simple. Stay glued on your chairs and listen. This is a very intellectual show. I'm not here to entertain people. I'm here to give you the facts. And I could as well open the lines for people to call. I think at some point I'll open the lines for people to call. 1 second. Yes. And I'll open the lines for people to call at the end of the show. So basically, It's only for people who are intellectuals. So, of course, I always write, I'm not writing for everybody. I'm not speaking for everybody. I cannot educate everybody. I cannot exchange knowledge with everybody. But everybody has a right to listen to me. That's it. So at this stage, considering Mr. Biya's international diplomacy and how he has over-tackled us by pushing Cameroon to being a member of the United Nations Human Rights Council, like the head-chopping Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, of course, has the poorest human rights record, chopping people's heads in public, on guillotine in public, chopping off heads in public. Cameroon has the same human rights record, burning women and children in public and filming themselves doing so, killing women in their backs and shooting them with their babies on their backs and filming themselves doing so. Cameroon is not different from Saudi Arabia, to put it in simple terms. And these countries, in 2015, Saudi Arabia was appointed as the host of the Human Rights Council. Now in 2018, the same head-chopping regime of Mr. Paul Biya Bartholomew Bimvondo has been appointed at the same Human Rights Council. This is saddening, this is sickening, and this is atrocious. To put it in simple terms, Ambazonians, wake up. We have to change the strategy. The strategy has been very, very repetitive. We've been repeating the same experiment over and over and expecting different results. It shall not work that way. We cannot think we are repeating the same experiment with the same solutions and the same solutes every time, and we are thinking that we can expect different results. Now the strategy has to change. Stop all protests abroad. They will not help. All the protests abroad are just to sap our energy for nothing. Well, you can argue on the fact that it raises international alarm, it raises international concern, it makes people to be more aware of the struggle. We don't care about awareness at this stage. Already for the past 56 years, if other member states have not been aware that Cameroon annexed Ambazonia, therefore it's not now we can educate them. They are already aware. They have our files on their tables. They are not fools. They are looking at our struggle. They follow us every blessed time. The only thing is that they cannot speak out because it has not reached the stage where it bleeds it's supposed to lead. Here is the fact. At this stage, we should not think that we are entertaining the international scene or trying to lure the international scene to come to our aid. Wrong. At this stage, what we should be looking at is very simple. Take the battle into La République du Cameroun. If we take that battle into La République du Cameroun, it will bleed the interest of the international scene or international community. And of course, we shall lead. If we take the battle into La République du Cameroun, it will rubbish the interest of other member states in La République du Cameroun, and we shall lead. If we destroy all interests of every member state in Ambazonia, we shall lead. At this stage, it is not about killing soldiers. Never. It is not about killing terrorists. Never. It is about killing the interests of other member states. This is what we should be thinking, and this is what we should do. Put a list of all the interests of all states in Ambazonia, from CDC to Sonara to whatever, to UNVDA or whatever. Destroy all the interests of all member states in Ambazonia. You will trigger where it pinches. Whatever you're doing is not pinching the international community. Whatever we are doing is not pinching the interest of the international community. Remember, Hans Morgenthal's law, his second law of politics, states think and act in terms of interest defined as power. If states think and act in terms of interests defined as power, therefore we should touch their interest. If states think and act in terms of interest, therefore we should look at the interest of other states in Ambazonia and touch and prick and cut off that interest. That is when they should think, and that is when they should act. Now, we have the interests of all states in the world in Ambazonia. Sonara is owned by France. Several companies, the CDC plantation has a very, very big interest in other states. Other member states own the CDC plantation. There are so many projects running in Ambazonia owned by other member states. We have to touch those projects. If you think you're killing a terrorist and it's affecting America, for example, it's not affecting them. Who owns those terrorists? They are La République du Cameroun. It affects only La République du Cameroun. This is where we have to come in. We have to touch other member states. We've been touching only La République du Cameroun, but we have to take the game to touch other member states. That would be more than being a protest in front of whatever embassy in whatever country. We have to take, for example, let me give you a simple example. If you touch CDC today, it will affect Britain. It will affect those countries that have huge interest in CDC. But if you touch a gendarme, it affects only La République du Cameroun. So we should be thinking of touching other member states that the report will go to them that their interest in Ambazonia has been touched. That is where you alarm the international community to know what is happening in Ambazonia. Ambazonia can never be free if we don't touch the interest of other member states, because states think and act in terms of interest defined as power. And how do you define power? That is the weakness of Hans Mogenthe's law. How do you operationalize power? How do you measure power? What quantity of power do you need for you to substantiate that this is the power you need to fight? That becomes the big debate. But for now, we are looking at the interest and we are looking at how to act. List all the interest of all states in the world in Ambazonia. There should be a committee. It has sat a committee organized by all the leadership of Ambazonia to list the interest of all states. Take your time and list the interest. List their interest. One, this state or this country. When I say state, it means a country. This country has this interest in Ambazonia. Who owns CDC? Who owns this? Who owns PAMOL? Who owns this? Who owns UNVDA? Who has this interest? Who has this mining, this in Fongotongo? Who has this? List all. There are so many of them. Once you list, attack. Once you list those interests, disturb the interest of those people. That is when you shall awake the international community on one day. That is when you shall shake the world in one day. If you fail to do that, forget about independence. Forget about it. Whatever we are doing, we are trying to be too moral in a war. War is simply patience amid chaos. If you want to go by the standard definition of war, war is defined by von Clausewitz as the continuation of politics using other means. As simple as it is. The continuation of politics using other means. How do you continue politics? Using other means. What other means? That is where he did not operationalize it. What are the other means? These are the other means I am giving to you. That we should operationalize politics using these means. Target those interests. If you don't target those interests, you will never get independence. I can swear by my blood. I can swear. You will never ever get independence. Never. La République is playing too fast and we are playing too slow. Of course, La République is playing too fast and we are playing too slow. I shall take your questions after this. Most people have my WhatsApp number. You can put it there. We shall take your questions. But first, let us discuss. There is so much to talk about today. At this stage, once we touch the interests of other member states, we shall, of course, alarm our situation to the international community that a group of people in Ambazonia, a new country in Africa, are not happy with what is going on in their land. That somebody sits from Yaoundé to sign a contract on behalf of an entire 8 million people in Ambazonia, a contract that will take place in Ambazonia, and the Ambazonians are not represented on their resources, and you sit in Yaoundé to sign a contract, a 99-year lease. My friend, destroy the contract, burn the contract, and destroy that project. I have said it. Tapang Ivo-Tanku have said it. Human rights, it's human right. It's not state right. You must represent people before you do things that affect communities. In fact, in 2013 and 2014, a company known as SG Sock in New York signed a 99-year lease on a 75,000 hectares of land, Indian, to give oil to America, palm oil to America, palm oil to America on a 99-year lease for a 75,000 hectares of land, Indian. And that means you will cut off all the trees, displace communities that have nowhere to go to just because you want to feed America, a country that is already self-sustainable, and you want to give pleasure to a company known as SG Sock. And you don't care about your own citizens who are living and who have harbored themselves on that 75,000 hectares of land. My brother, the people have the right to stop any project going on in their country. If you don't have the right, we have the right. As simple as it is, we have to identify all the interests of all member states and touch those interests. And touch them. I said Torch. Touch, to burn the interest. We have to burn the interest. If you don't burn it, you will never get independence. I can swear by my blood. I swear it. Well, don't think I'm here to entertain people. If other people are coming on air to tell you, oh, they have killed us this one, I'm coming here to give you strategies that will win, that will give you independence. I'm not here to please people. I'm here to give you the strategies to educate people. This is what we have to do to win this thing. This is exactly what you have to do. Not this is what we have been doing. Oh, they killed these people in Matom. No, this is what we have to do to win this thing. That is it. We have to touch the interest of all member states. We have them. We have a list. But we have to update the list, and that should be our target. The citizens are in the bushes. Soldiers or terrorists by La République du Cameroon have been sent behind the citizens, not behind the interest. We have to deflect the attention of those terrorists by touching on those interests. Let so many terrorists who are going to the bushes follow the interest. And that is where you shall leave the citizens free, and we shall put our target on those interests. That is exactly what we should be thinking and doing in this particular current age. Simple. The war of independence, I've always said, is the simplest thing to ever get. The simplest thing that I can give the people of Ambazonia is independence. But can you think? Just think for 1 second and do it for 1 second. Then you curse me after. Just think for 1 second, do it for 1 second, get the freedom for 1 second and curse me after. Or kill me after. Every day, we are tired of reporting. Soldiers are going into the bushes to look for civilians to kill. Going into the bushes. When have you heard that we have identified the interests of other states in Ambazonia to attack and destroy? La République du Cameroon understand one thing. They have been in existence for the past 60 years since they got independence. 1960 to today. That is when they've been in existence, building relationships, building diplomacy, having embassies in other countries, building an established empire. Don't think that Ambazonians can wake up one morning to go and cut off all of those in one day. Never. Even Christ himself says he can destroy that temple that was built for 40 days and erected in 3 days. And people laughed at him. Who is this young boy talking about? And what is he talking about? We cannot destroy the empire built by Bia and Ahijo for the last 60 years. We cannot destroy that empire in 1 day or in 2 years or in 3 years. But we can destroy it if we have a strategy. And what is the strategy? touch that empire by focusing on the interest of other member states in Ambazonia. List all the interests of other member states in Ambazonia and touch that empire. Touch all them. You will cripple La Republique. We shall cripple La Republique. We shall alarm the international community. We shall signal to the international community that there is something happening in some armpit of Africa that needs the international attention of everyone. If Britain, for example, wakes up one morning to hear CDC has been shut down, Britain will go mad. And that is what we have to do. We have to make them go mad. But if Britain wakes up one morning and hear the entire Cameroon military has been shut down, they will not care because it's not their military. If the US hears that its interest has been touched in some other part of the world, they would alarm themselves. But if the US hears that some Saudi Arabia soldier has been killed by a Yemeni force, they will not care. They care about their own interest. You, for example, watching me, if you hear that some people have died in some real way or whatever, it will not affect you in any way. But if you hear that your own child was among those who have died, it should affect you. It's all about interest. That is how we can alarm the international community to come to our aid. And that is a simple strategy that we have to roll out. Mr. Biya has played the first one. Although we know there is no difference between Kamto and Mr. Biya, the only difference is that Kamto wants to run for president, however. Don't expect anything different to come from Kamto, who is already the president of La République du Cameroon. We congratulate him for that. Don't expect that there is anything different that can come out from someone who has worked with Mr. Biya for nearly 40 years. Someone who has worked with Mr. Biya on a close relationship for nearly 30 years. Don't expect that something different can come from that kind of a person. He has been trained by Biya to think like Biya and act like Biya. The only way he differs with Biya is that he wants to be president. That is the only way he differs. That's all. Nothing different. Nothing different. The only thing we can benefit from the elections of La République du Cameroon is that our citizens will be free. That I can guarantee you. Our freed citizens have a guaranteed right to their freedom. Our people in jail will all be free if the next president comes to power. The only thing that I can assure you is that we will never ever be free if our citizens are still in jail and Mr. Biya is still in power. So we should be looking at ways to put two enemies at loggerheads. Once the two enemies are fighting, we shall be free. Simple. Very simple. Some people say, how does the election concern us? The elections in neighboring La République concern us. Because your neighbor's house is on fire and you are living in a calaboot house. You are living in a plank house and your neighbor's house, your immediate neighbor's house is on fire. How does that concern you? It concerns you. You're living in Ambazonia. You have a country called Ambazonia. How does Ambazonia concern La République? Put it in simple terms. Because Ambazonia concerns La République, you are concerned about your own country. You have to meddle into their stuff and destroy and spoil their stuff. Put them at loggerheads and fight while focusing on the local interest, on the interests of other state actors in Ambazonia. It's a complex war, but it needs a very simple, parsimonious, complex strategy. I will take your calls and the lines will be open in the next 5 minutes. But let me go on to my conclusion. This is what I'm talking about. We have to encourage our boys on the ground to erect a leadership that will govern them if we cannot govern them. We have to erect our boys on the ground to stand strong. When I hear people paying boys on the ground to do videos against your own activists, you are indirectly working for La République because you want those boys to kill themselves. You want soldiers to go and kill those boys or terrorists to go and kill those boys. Pay boys on the ground to go and destroy Pamol or to go and destroy CDC. Don't pay boys to come and do videos with they don't even have batteries on their phones. They should put the phones and do videos. Oh, I did one, I attacked this one. Is that not childish and stupid? Is that not ludicrous? Because you want to prop up some useless group? Is that not useless and stupid of you? Is that not ludicrous? Are you thinking, are you in the right senses? We have to prop up the boys to fight La République du Cameroon. When La République du Cameroon comes around, they turn their weapons against our own boys and shoot and kill. You are in the diaspora, sitting in the diaspora. Why don't we encourage those boys or even give them that money to buy their granite and shoot La République du Cameroon? Why do you think you want to prop up a particular group? Let me tell you. Hold on. This struggle will take 13 years, given my predictions. 13 years. By then, most of us will not be alive. This struggle will take 13 years. None of us you see here would even be at the helm of the leadership whenever we get independence. None of us. The real people who are power mongers have not started showing their faces. There are some people who are sitting and waiting for the right moment to step in, and they are wealthy. They have all the connections, and they will steal the show. What we are doing is preparing the stage for the main actor to come on. We are preparing the stage for the main actor to come in. That is all we are doing. All the leaders of Ambazonia, that's what we are doing. So we are not even closer to Boya than you think. The strategy for independence has been simple, but we are not consistent on that. The ADF has its own strategy for independence, which is Operation Kill 2 per day. Only 2. Kill only 2 terrorists per day. 2. Let me repeat the strategy. We have 13 divisions or regions or counties in the entire Ambazonia. If we have only 13 divisions, you kill 2 per day. In one day, you will kill 26. And in 1 month, you will kill 740 terrorists. And in 19 months, you have killed 15,000 terrorists. Now, if you increase it by Operation Kill 4 per day in every huge division, just 14, 1, 2, 3, just 4, not 14, 4, just 1, 2, 3, 4. That means you see a terrorist pass, you just kill 4. If you kill 4 per day, in 9 months, you will get independence. Why? According to there's a database they call the Global Firepower. There are 15,000 active soldiers or terrorists in La République du Cameroon. 15,000. Let's assume that all these 15,000 are in Ambazonia, fighting Ambazonians. Although we know that it's not true, most of them are in the north fighting Boko Haram. And Boko Haram is doing a job to kill them. Killing terrorists in northern Cameroon. That is their business. But let's look at it in southern Cameroon. Let's assume all 15,000 are in southern Cameroon. We kill only 4 per day. We are 8 million of us. 8 million. 8 million of us. Most of them boys. If we kill 4 per day, 4, although they are killing us, that's fine. If we kill 4 per day, in 9 months, we would have eliminated the entire 15,000 La République du Cameroon terrorists. We have eliminated all of them. They would go on a massive recruitment spree to recruit people who are not well trained and who are not psychologically prepared to fight a war. Let me give you the advantage. On a comparative scale between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon, we beat them. Because number one, we are psychologically prepared to fight a war. A boxer going into a boxing ring that has not psychologically prepared will fail that boxing ring, that boxing match. But when you see someone going to box or going to fight and he has been preparing psychologically, he is most likely to win that war. This is the only beacon of hope for us. We may win this war because we are psychologically prepared. But we need a strategy to win this war. You can be psychologically prepared to fight in the boxing ring. But if you don't have a strategy to defeat your opponent, you cannot win. As simple as it is. And what is the strategy? Number one, I am challenging all the leaders of Ambazonia to sit down and lay out a strategy. I've not said unity. I don't care about unity. I don't care. Unity cannot hold. It cannot. But we can have division Diversity. We can have a unified strategy in diversity. I don't care about leadership or unity. We've had so many instances of unity, it fails the next day. I don't care about, keep the unity aside. All those leaders, come down and sit down and clip your wings. Look at a strategy. The point is a strategy. Unity is not a strategy. Diversity is a strategy. Accept two things: tolerance and respect. Accept diversity. Once you accept diverse leadership, you come together, roll out a strategy. You can defeat Mr. Bia in one night. You can defeat the international community in one night. Simple. Very simple. Now let me come to how we have to coordinate ourselves on the social media as bloggers. I think I've been speaking a lot. I'll take your questions after, or I'll take some calls after this. How we have to coordinate ourselves. On social media, we don't come on social media. Our only platform that we've built, I've been on social media for the past 11 years, doing the same thing as I'm doing to you right now, speaking on air for the past 11 years, not 11 days, 11 years. I'm tired. That's why I train people like Colonel Vela to speak propaganda, but they graduate as truth reporters. Well, I don't care. I don't see anybody who does propaganda like me. I've been training a whole lot of them to preach propaganda, but they keep graduating as truth tellers. But that's fine. But here is the hook. We have to coordinate ourselves as social media bloggers. If you come on air and you have a platform like this and you have a TV screen in your before, what do? You come and be calling names for 2 hours. Oh, do you want to do that? Oh, that one that do that. You speak like one villager. You speak like a dull villager, dull fool, useless fool. How can you come on air? You have people looking at you. You're calling them, oh, this one, hey, oh, this one, hey, oh, that one. You know, is that not stupidity? Is that not stupidity? Is that not a village champion? Don't call names. Talk about what the people have to know to defeat La Republique. We have so many things that we cannot put in simple words. These are things that if I want to start writing here, not everybody can read. If I want to start writing all these things, not everybody read. If I talk it out, people know it. And this is what people do, and people win. Simple. I wish I could be here to do videos every day and tell you what can win, what can be done to. Forget about people's differences. Forget. I don't care who stole money. I don't care who do this. That should not be on my video life. What I care on video life is that can we destroy Pamol? Yes, we can. Can we destroy Sonara? Yes, we can. Can we put a list of all interests of all member states in Ambazonia, put those lists down and start attacking one on one? Can we do it? Yes. If we can do it, what is the problem? We have to prepare people's minds psychologically to fight this war, not to fight us. You want to fight Tapang? Since they started calling my name since 1900 till today, can somebody kill me? Has somebody come to slap me? All what you do ends on social media. It doesn't care. You don't touch me. After all, I have my child, I have my this, I enjoy my family. Simple. I still have my food, served, good meal, ate my bottle of wine, I drink. Does it affect me? No! It affects only you on social media trying to fight on a virtual platform. The earlier we grow to reasoning, the better. When you have a platform and you come on 2 hours to attack people, you are wasting your time. Time. My voice is very precious to call the names of useless idiots on my platform. My voice is very, very precious. To put it in simple words, my voice is very precious to call the names of useless idiots, fools, useless fools on my platform. My voice is very precious. My voice is very useful to call the names of people who kill my own citizens. Atanganji Paul, Paul Boro, and all the Pauls. Ngogombo Paul and Paul. My voice is very useful to incite you to fight against those people. That is what my voice was destined to do. My voice is very useful to come on videos and tell you exactly what we can do to win freedom and liberation for all other Ambazonians who may not be interested. My voice is very useful for that purpose. My time, my 1 second on video live is very useful to encourage you watching me, whether you're a spy or not a spy, to tell you that you have to free yourself from mental slavery and that this is the only opportunity we have in the entire world to show the world that we can be free and get independence within the next 9 months. My voice is very useful for that. I don't spend my time and I will not entertain any person. If you like, you call my name to get popularity, because I remember someone told me that, Ivo, people are calling your name to get popularity because the name Tapang, it attracts people. When you call Tapang, oh my, yeah, Tapang don't do it. Because people want to get popularity using my name. I give you that leverage. I endorse that leverage. Use my name to get popularity. But take that popularity to build a constructive platform for independence. Simple. I don't want to talk. Anyway, I'm going to open the lines. My number, any man if you call, you participate. Make anybody ready to watch me, Leonga, Martin, and the rest. Please put my WhatsApp number so that I can take up just five calls, random calls from anybody who wants to participate. My WhatsApp number is there. Maybe my game again. My number now 408-310-5204. 408-310-5204. Somebody can write it. People can call anyone. I just pick up the random calls and you hear my phone ring. So many people say I don't select calls. I don't select calls. You want to speak, speak and be constructive. I'm not here to entertain, because if you want to make some stupid comment, I just put your number on, let people call you and insult you. Constructive. I want constructive criticisms or constructive approach towards independence. Nothing more, nothing less. So, as I was saying, before we end the show, just 5 random calls will be enough, or maybe 2 or 3. I don't get time to talk plenty. But this is one thing that we have to care about. We have to care about the interests of Ambazonians against the interests of other member states in this particular Ambazonia. We have to care about not even wasting our time to go and protest in front of whatever embassy. Protesting in embassies will never help us. Protesting in front of the UN will never help us. We have to think of how we can build our own relationships in Ambazonia by destroying all other interests in Ambazonia. That is when we shall alarm the international community to come to our aid. We will fail big time if we don't alarm the international community to come to our aid. We will fail. The strategy is very simple. We have to put out a strategy that will be cohesive within the next 1 month. Forget about, I don't care about leadership. I don't care about who is the president. I have my own president. My president is Dr. Ayabacho Lucas. That is my president. I respect the right to your own president, maybe Sako or whoever. But this is what I care about. I care about how we can tolerate each other's differences and build a common platform on Ambazonia. That is what we can do. That is what we can do. As of now, we have no elected leadership. None. All of them were appointed. All. AGC is the oldest organizations ever in Ambazonia. We have no elected leadership. None. All of them have been appointed. The only true leadership we shall have in Ambazonia is an elected leadership based on the majority suffrage. That is what we shall have as true leadership. Or what we say, oh, this one is very popular. There is no popularity on social media. There is none. We have 8 million people. If 2,000 are watching, that's not popularity. If 1,000 are watching, that is not popularity. We've all had those views. That is not popularity because we have 8 million citizens. No one has ever done a head count. No one has ever done an official head count or a census to say, okay, this one supports this. No, none. The day we should do a head count would be when we go to Ambazonia and we shall elect the first president of Ambazonia. Forget about this noise. Forget about all what we're doing. All what we're doing is preparing the stage for something bigger to happen tomorrow. If we can prepare the stage for something bigger to happen tomorrow, we shall achieve. I don't have much time. I see some people are calling. So my number, 408-310-5204. Call me on WhatsApp and we talk and you can air your problems. We have 3 more minutes left. Call me on WhatsApp 408-310-5204. I also thank everyone who has been watching, but I want to assure you that the ADF has a code of conduct. We should not pay people to be imposters of the ADF to wear black t-shirts, come on air and think that they can insult the ADF or they can do things to claim that the ADF attacks women and children. No. We know where they're coming from. They come from Maryland. All those paid agents, they're in Maryland. And that is what they do. That is their job, to pay boys on the ground to wear ADS t-shirts and then come and stage as if they're ADS attacking women and children. If you see any ADF fighter, shoot! If you see any ADF, anyone with an ADF inscription, attacking women and children, I give you the order, shoot in the head and blow out his brain. Let me take this call. Yeah, hello, now the call. Hello? Hello?
Hello, this is, I'm calling from Germany. I want to ask you a question to Tapang Ivo.
Yes, please do. Ask the question.
Hi, Ivo. Good afternoon. This is, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on, please.
Okay, I got one question for me. I really love you, bro. But I think you're doing a good job, and I really want you to get better. I want all of us to succeed in this. I have one really big question for you. Okay, and my question is very simple. Okay, how do we get together and make sure that we effectively work together and get to where as quick as possible? Okay, we don't care about the sidetracks that are happening. Okay, we just want to make sure that we get our eyes on the ball. And you started this fight pretty solid. I was 100% behind you. But I understand everybody goes up and down. But I still give you credit because I know you're talking from your heart. So how do we get everybody on board so we make sure that we don't derail? That's my question.
Perfect. Great question. I will take the next call. Anyone want to call, just call quickly as before. Call quickly and then take the next call. But I answer a call. A good caller. He asked us, how can we get back together? What is the way out for us to get back on board, to put our eyes on the same ball? The first thing is that we have to accept diversity. You know, when you're playing soccer, when you play soccer, football, they work for all sides. Players, they no more stand for one side for see that football. Any man fish should done for an angle, whether an angle 90, for backstage, for front, for middle field, look the same ball. That is what we can do. We must not come to the same spot to see that ball. Accept the simple answer that tolerance and respect. Accept people's diverse views, tolerate and respect. That's all. We shall win the match. Yes, hello, ma, pick up the call. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Now the talk.
Yeah, good evening in general.
Yeah, evening.
Yes, I'm calling because I have a suggestion.
Go on, please.
You're talking about the way forward for this struggle. The strategy on the ground is the problem. Our guys are dying. And they're dying because of a false strategy.
Yes.
I don't see how we can be prosecuting a revolution. We don't have a regular army. We don't have the sophisticated weapons, and we go and set up camps. Mm-hmm. We go and set up groups and sit somewhere. That's an invitation to be killed. Mm-hmm. And this is what is happening. And I think the people, remember, the La République they're not stupid. They have strategists. And what they are doing is that they are working on containing this revolution, containing the armed struggle in places where it doesn't really so much affect their economic activities in the region and also their functioning in the region.
Sure.
And that's why you see, they push these guys, put them in some hidden places. You see some people, they say they have won some places, they sit there, they say we have captured this area, we have it. Those areas are low impact areas to the government. Those areas make simply no difference.
Yes.
The guerrilla war tactics is what these guys should be implementing.
Yes.
Go out, hit a specific target, which is which has impact on the Republic and disappear. That way you are effective. That way you also protect the population. Not like go and sit among the population and then they come and kill them just to make them go against you.
Yes.
This is I think they should rethink this strategy.
You're right.
They should rethink the strategy. First, I just want to say I don't belong to any of the group. I'm an Ambazonian, and my goal, my wish is that we become free. It doesn't matter who is leading or who is leading. I don't think that the issue of collaboration is completely dead. I think there can still be a way for all these groups to work together. But the thing is that within, mark my words, you will see it, within the next coming days and weeks, this revolution will start revealing itself. The people who have been sold out will slowly start revealing themselves. So all this noise that they are making, they're going up and down, talking, this one has done this one has done this, all of that will be revealed in the next coming days and weeks. Mark me, I'm talking here about the All Anglophone Conference, which some of these people are now, they're not focusing on this revolution, they are trying to secure their places in this conference.
Yes.
We know about that. We know, and it has been their strategy. Remember, La République is using some of the best strategies in counter-revolution. Yes. They have firms who have worked with different countries across Africa, across the world, to crush internal uprisings.
Yes.
And they are using those firms, and they know exactly what they are doing.
Yes.
So you see some of these people who are online talking and making noise, and they think they have followings. Let me tell my fellow Ambazonian brothers and sisters, go to their Facebook live, look at the comments, look at the people who are commenting. Most of them don't have pictures. Most of them don't have that. They have fake profiles. Most of them they have fake names. All those people are part of La République's social media army. When they come there, they push, they give them, they boast them up, they make their ego rise. They think they are getting popularity, but they start losing.
Yeah.
The thing is this, as I've said, within the next few days, within the next few weeks, everything will start revealing itself. So there's no noise, there's no need for noise. And that's why I continue to tell the real revolutionaries, just continue to do your work. Forget about all the insults and the rest, because they will go up, and then they will go up and betray themselves, and they will fall back. Remember, La République has no mercy. Because you see Mr. Tanganji today, he is fighting in Yaoundé not because of the survival of the government, but because of his own survival. Because today, if Bia falls, he is dead. If Kanto wins, he is dead. Even if Bia wins, he's still in trouble. He's struggling to secure himself. La République has no mercy. So all those people who are working with La République, La République will use them. To buy their heads to solve their own problems. They will use them and give them to Southern Cameroonians as scapegoats.
All right, perfect, great interaction. Yes, yeah, I think your points are very interesting. But I think anyway, you don't have to talk for long. Maybe other people they call, bro. So if you continue the call after, they are very intelligent points, and the thing we don't pick out, it be very simple. Number one, we have to accept unity in diversity. As you clearly stated, you're not working for any group, which is perfect, but we need a cohesive and binding strategy. That is what I've picked out. We don't have a strategy, effective strategy, or even closer to being effective that can win this particular revolution. And you're still insisting on what I said earlier. We have to keep on the hit and run tactic. That is only what can beat La République du Cameroon. You have stated something which is very important, that don't think that by occupying territory that are low impact, in your own words, low impact, you feel that you are gaining. No. You cannot go and occupy a territory in Way and you think that you have gained Ambazonia. No. What we have to prioritize is not occupying territory, but hit and run. Hit Boya. Hit the governor's office in Boya and run. Hit. Make it ungovernable. Hit and run. Don't hit and stay. Make them afraid at any time and that they should expect you at any time. Hit and run. That's it. Great question. Great caller. Very intelligent, brilliant guy. I wish you all the best. So let me pick up another call that is on the line. Yeah. So the number is there. Everybody has my number. 408-310-5204. 408-310-5204. You can call on WhatsApp. So that's a very brilliant caller. Very, very brilliant. And those are the kinds of people we encourage. He also said something which is very important. I earlier announced it. And that was a strategy done by the presidency, the communications officers in the presidency. Remember, I am a diplomat by profession. I am a trained diplomat expected to be working at the Ministry of External Relations in La République du Cameroon, but I turned down every opportunity to work as a diplomat in that country. I have my friends who are working there and they feed me with information. Their strategy is simple. Paying people to be online disguised as Ambazonia to come into your forum and think and initiate division so that you can think that they are for Ambazonia, but they are not Ambazonians. And that's a simple strategy. Some people, they recall, I will pick your call. Just call on a keep call for 408-310-5204. 408-310-5204. Yes, so of course, I'll pick up other calls and that's it. So, as I said, stay on the ball. Put your eyes on the ball. We are playing a football game with players at all angles of the field. But all the players are looking at one direction, where the ball is going to. That is the strategy we should adopt. I don't care whether you are with some IG, or you're with some this, or you're with that. Ivo stands for the ADF. And to me, the ADF has an unrivaled strategy. We are perfect. We are excellent. Please donate. Just give a bullet to us. One bullet will do magic. That's the link there. Donate. One bullet. That's the link. This is the link here. One bullet will do magic. Donate. Just simply click donate and that is it. Let me pick up this other call. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, now the talk. Yeah, now the talk. Asaloto. Thank you very much. Go on.
Okay, I don't want to do my ID.
Yes, go on.
Security reasons.
Yes.
But the last two callers have made a point. Now the point that we need and my position from who have very important point. The first one, this chaos where it go on for La Republic.
Yes.
We have to encourage that chaos. You wife?
Yes.
We have to find ways psychological warfare. Look out, we have to get the Republic boys to get involved in their own governance now.
Yes.
That point you don't make up.
Okay, so I ask you. Okay, may I ask you some questions? Yeah, Adia, you might ask you some questions before you go to a second point. So you mean we have to cause chaos in La Republic because of the elections that is going on, or how? That means maybe we.
Of course, look, here election, one a counter win on a win, make the people for inside La Republic they get involved in their own governor now. Very good.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, but the more they get involved with the enemy of my friend. You know, I didn't work out. They have to be encouraged to be involved in their own issues.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, my second point, where I talk about the equality, that's the problem demand of make up. The odd days, I want to have the man on post picture the way equal them. Especially football. So our boys, they could take over a school. school, and they shut down as a crime. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. This one now guerrilla warfare. How you people take a place and make it into a camp?
You're right.
How can you do that? Okay, me, I cannot say okay. When you define war, sometimes you get tired, you need a place to shower, you need a place to sleep,
Yes.
And relax.
And your enemy is not tired.
And the enemy is watching. If you want to relax, I'll tell you how you want to do. Now, if my one will sleep, we're going to change shifts. Put in sleep, some put in watch.
Yes.
I don't put in water, right? When I put in shower, when I have some put in watch. How is it going to take a place and you make it into a
I get a point.
you know, so you become a target, period.
Perfect.
You become an easy target. I'm saying, it doesn't show on here, on night, if you watch, incoming traffic, it doesn't know what time you sleep, it doesn't know what time you wake up, you make fire, it sees smoke, all those things. That was just pure stupidity.
All right. Perfect. Great caller. Great question. Yes.
To your point, that a guerrilla warfare, it has remained so until Amazonia is.
Yes. All right. Great.
This warfare war, it will remain a guerrilla warfare. It must remain a thing. Even that's the way you must keep your footprint as small as possible. Nobody establish an outpost where you can make a target. Period.
All right. All right. Perfect. All right. So, okay. Thank you. Yes. So I'll take up just the last call, and then we'll close the edition. But I want to insist on Tuedon Tokam. It is an excellent point. We cannot hold territory, and it's the point of the Ambazonia Defense Forces. We don't have to hold territory. It's a failed strategy. Whoever brought up the concept of county by county is a failure to Ambazonia. We are not here to hold territory. We are here to make the country ungovernable with simple tactic, hit and run. We are not here to pay taxes or to pay some, I don't hear someone that say pay taxes or whatever. How can you pay taxes when people are in the bushes? We've not even got anything. Who is the president? Where are the institutions? That's a scam network. That's a scam. It's a scam. You pay taxes. How are they transparent? We're accusing Bia of using our taxes in a very untransparent manner. How are we transparent? If you pay taxes, how? What will it be used for? How does it? Where are the institutions? Where is the executive, the judiciary, the legislative? What are they? So do we understand how politics work, or is it because we just feel that anyone can do politics? Go to school and learn how things work before you come to implement them. At this stage, we have one tactic that holds the struggle. Guerrilla warfare, hit and run. Because by hitting and running, you are making the country ungovernable. As long as we make it ungovernable, that's all. We make it ungovernable till the point where we bleed and weaken the enemy, and then the international community can come in to dash our sovereignty, because we want international recognition. If we don't have that international recognition, we shall never, ever win. We want to be recognized on the international stage as a country that is sovereign. And who gives state sovereignty? It is only the United Nations. Make it ungovernable. Ungovernable, as simple as it is. That's the only strategy. How do you make it ungovernable? Roll back to the start of this video and watch. I've already stated it. I've already given a clear plan of action. Yeah, so that's it. So many callers on the line. I'll take just the last one and then we'll continue. But before I end, I want to thank everybody who has participated. Mr. Man, put my number for the 408-310-5204. I take only random calls, not people I know. 408-310-5204. So, yeah, of course, some people say thank you. Thank you very much, everyone who has been watching. I want to thank you guys, and please do keep the resilience. You're doing a fantastic job. We can always talk after this, and so that's it. So I want to appreciate everyone, especially those on ground zero. I know most of them are school dropouts who left school to pick up guns, who dropped their pens to pick up guns to fight La République du Cameroon. It's a laudable initiative, and not everyone can do what you're doing. I really pity sometimes when I think that you are in the bushes, staying the night in the bushes, sleeping just to wake up to still fight the enemy and go back to sleep. It's unbelievable. I pray that the struggle is short-lived and that there should be huge successes so that you can regain your freedom. And let me tell you, we are for you and we will stand by you. And if there is any way we can support, we will keep supporting. If my own support means coming to congratulate you on Facebook Live, I will do it. And that's my job. I congratulate you. You are doing a fantastic job. And just to inform you, everyone on the ground, don't, don't take money from anyone abroad who is paying you to wear an ADF t-shirt or whatever t-shirt just to blackmail another group by saying you're attacking women and children. Wrong. Those are failed La République agents who worked in La République, have come to abroad as Johnny just come. They don't understand how the struggle works, and they feel that they can derail the struggle. Let me take this very last call. I no get time. Yes, hello. Now the talk. Hello? Yeah, Tapang here.
I just wanted to contribute to the program.
Yeah, please do. Just turn down the volume of your receiver, please.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, go on. Go straight to the point. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go on. Go straight to the point, brother.
Yeah, I've done that right now.
Yes, go. Yeah, I'm listening. Go on.
All right. Listen, all of you are doing a great job, but the most important thing right now is to find out how we can stop this idea of people collecting, just raising funds for individual groups that we don't know them. All right? So,
yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
So, a guerrilla warfare is the best option so far. We cannot start affording to hold territories, fight them. We don't have the same powers, we don't have the same access to weapons like they do. So the guerrilla warfare is the best option so far. But everybody's concerned about how to channel funds. How do we get the funds without going through people who are most probably going to embezzle it, people who don't have jobs, people who cannot be employed at this stage of their lives, and people who have nothing other to rely on anything other than this struggle to survive as a people. So we have to look for a means to counter that. It's not about being at loggerheads against country by country. Country by country is an initiative. It may not sound so good because we're not in a position to hold territories right now, but at the same time, the major concern right now. Can you just tell me how we can do it, how we can avoid people raising funds from individual levels and using those funds for personal interest? Where we want a system where we can channel the funds directly to those on ground zero.
Great caller. I have also thought about this particular strategy. Just stay online. Let us talk. I've also thought about this particular strategy. This is one of the most challenging things I've been thinking about for the past couple of days. If we send money to the ground to General Ivo, for example, he will be tracked and he will be arrested. You know that La République still controls the finances and the international money transaction routes. So he will be tracked and they will be arrested. All of them. Even when you send money to Yaoundé or Douala, neighboring Yaoundé or Douala, they still investigate where this money is coming from and who is sending the money. So they track everything. The only way we can send money is to Nigeria, but it will be risky for our fighters to move into Nigeria, collect money, and come back. That is exposing them to more risk, and they are more at what we call risk adverse. We don't want to expose them to a risk adverse situation. This is what I think. We should go with the traditionalists, those who have always been in the struggle. We know them. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. That is the English word. Some people say the devil you know is better than the angel know. The right way in the English dictionary is the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, because there are two devils. So I know this one, but if a new one comes into town, I don't know you. So we should go, the only way out for now, after thinking as a rationalist, is that we should go with the traditionalist. Those whom you know had always been in the struggle, advocating for the same independence even before the struggle started, and we should stick on to that. Let us not try to implement new things in a very chaotic situation. We already know Ayabacho Lucas. We already know Akwanga. Those are people who destroyed the Mongol Bridge even before I even penned down my first exam paper in any institution. So at the end of the day, if these people have their groups, it comes down to two things. I see only two clear self-defense groups. I personally coordinated in sending military gadgets to Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, the same gadgets that I showed on my Facebook Live. I sent those gadgets and boots to Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga because I loved him and respect him for his work. So if...
I have some proposals.
Yeah, please go on. Hello?
Yes, I have some proposals, and my idea is, first of all, with regards to school reopening,
yes,
we should let the schools reopen, and we target francophone teachers, send them a message to go back home, to go back to French Cameroon.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
Okay, no, that would be problematic because
School reopening is becoming very unpopular. Then secondly, on the military front, we can rather engage in educating the people on how to make weapons, on how to make explosives, on what the Taliban are doing exactly. Not just exporting weapons. It's extremely difficult to export weapons, to take it into Cameroon.
All right.
So when you're raising a fund, when you're raising funds that you want to send weapons, well, it's a laudable initiative, but at the same time, the challenges are too enormous. People don't trust that channel any longer. People don't trust the weapons actually get to ground zero. People are dying every day, and people don't even believe that some of these are their complaints that people don't get this money from ground zero. So why don't we just get little explosives when you can just, those guys, they get educated on how to put some funny stuff together and come up with something that can explode and, get the view attention, get the international attention, not just targeting, not just not facing them directly. Re-educating. There was a video recently where a lady was saying, preparing cartridges.
Yes.
I think that's the kind of idea that could solve. That's a beautiful idea.
Yes.
Not just going to groups and giving them money to... people don't trust this idea of sending money to people because we know the challenges that are involved in it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Perfect. Great caller, great intelligence, wonder. I love these kinds of people around me. These are the kinds of mindsets I really love around me. May God bless you, brother. May God bless your family. So yeah, that's a great, I think that's the last call I'll take. Please, I don't want to talk too much. Maybe another one, but that's it. But he has said something which is very important. And as I was saying, there are two self-defense groups I see clearly, SOCADEF and ADF. These people have long-standing relations on self-defense. We know that. We saw the outing by Saul Frontier on social media, and it was disastrous. This is somebody who was at the helm of the ANC and talking a whole lot of facts about what is going on in the ANC. Those are facts. Those are not lies. But we leave that to the IG to handle that. But I'm saying we should go with the traditionalist. Akwanga, AK-47 Akwanga. With all due respect, I love that guy. Ayabacho Lucas, these two heads are the ones who have always championed defense. Go for them. If you have the link to donating to a Dr. Akwanga, do it. If you have the link to donating to Cho Ayaba, which is here, do it. Those are the two people. Meantime, as we are looking forward to transitioning into how we can build explosives, which is great, our explosives for self-defense, how we can build cartridges for our boys, yes, that will take a long time. It is knowledge that is acquired over time. But what happens between now and that time? Already I can guarantee you, even Mangan, who is of the ADF, producing more bullets for our people. Maybe you don't know. Who is producing more bullets for our people. Already, while that is going on, I can assure you that the people are also creating and building their guns and even Dane guns to fight. But we cannot sustain the fight on Dane guns. We need some guns to go down to the ground and fight. But hey, hold on. This is what we have to know. This is a war. In wars, every war, I don't care whatever war. If you've done anything on military studies, you understand that a war, by the way, by conceptual definition, is very, very problematic. It's very chaotic. We expected these kinds of situations in a normal, regular, conventional, or even unconventional warfare. It happens in Sudan, it happened in South Sudan, it happened in Eritrea, it happens even in Ambazonia. This is a war. Accept the situation. These are things that are normal during the war. But what we are looking for is how we can mitigate these circumstances, how we can go past them without it necessarily becoming a problem, a regular, recurrent problem. Every day it comes up, every day it comes up. That's what we do. So this is my only take. For now, the people, of course, need something to defend themselves. Go by the traditionalists, as he has clearly stated. There are people who are jobless, who are not working anything, and who are living in the US, they don't even work anything. But they depend on the struggle to pay their rent, to pay this, to pay that. That is for sure a fact. I will not deny that. Go by the traditionalist. Akwanga does not work. His life is all about the struggle from day one since he got into the US till today, even before the struggle started. That's his life because he owes a responsibility to what he went through. That is his life. Ayabacho Lucas has his ADF. Akwanga has his Sokadef. If you can donate, I believe and I can pledge by my own sweat and blood that these guys are doing something that even the international community are afraid of them. This is a fact. It's a clear fact. There are two people when it comes to self-defense that La Republic fears. They fear Akwanga and they fear Cho Ayaba. Those two, and those are the two I know for sure. A fact that is a nightmare to La République du Cameroun. I'm not praising anyone, I'm not bringing down anyone, but I'm telling you the facts. Number two, this particular struggle or the issue of fundraising, we've never ever heard anyone, quote me if you know any name, put a name here. We've never heard anyone resign from the ADF. No one has ever resigned from the ADF. If you think you know someone who has ever resigned from the ADF, drop his name here. No one has ever resigned from the ADF. Well, it's true. Ayaba is a scammer and he's a thief. For that one, I accept. Yes, he always steals and he's a scammer because he wants to scam us away from La République du Cameroun. He wants to steal us away from La République du Cameroun. He wants to brainwash us because we've been brain-stained with La République du Cameroon's corruption, bribery, all reasons. Akwanga is a scammer and Ayaba is a scammer because that is their role. They want to scam us away from La République du Cameroon and put us in Ambazonia. They want to steal us away from La République du Cameroon because we are so stubborn and glued to mental slavery that we feel anyone who comes to rescue us wants to steal us. Yes, they will steal us. And that's why I joined them as thieves. I am a big thief and we shall steal you from La République du Cameroon and save you because you are mentally deranged. Why is you are stupid? And that's why we shall steal you. Simple as it is. To put it in clear terms, I don't have much to say. I will not go into that. But of course, we're not here to entertain anyone. I'm not responding to any of your insults. Anyone who insults me, are a petit or a small boy. So we're not responding to all that. Our goal is bigger than your small insult. That's all. The best we can do for you is to give you a platform to air yourselves. The only thing we can do right now, donate to all the big A's. They all have A grades. Akwanga, Ayaba, they are all A grades. Donate to the big A's, Akwanga and Ayaba. Ayaba, that's the link. No one has ever resigned from the ADF, the Ambazonia Defense Forces. No one. I vowed never to join any group. Never to join any group. The day I was appointed by a majority vote among all other candidates as the spokesperson of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, that is when I saw who are those in Ambazonia Defense Forces that the public does not even know. That's for sure a fact. If you are asking for accountability, go to this website, Chanshu Boys. You will see all accountability transparent and online. They are available online. That is the accountability you need. If people are resigning from other groups and are going to air their minds on other platforms, they are speaking the truth. Sofoncha did not lie. Santos did not lie. They are speaking the truth. That's the truth. And that's why they even say it in public and coming to say it. But of course, we expect La Republic agents to come and to be attacking them and attacking the truth. We cannot cover up the truth by lying again. We don't make a mistake by making the same mistake. Let us examine ourselves, see where they are going wrong or see what is going wrong in any group and fix up and close those gaps. No one is saying IG should be dissolved, but it's high time if two members are how they call this other woman, Dr. Elise, resign. Sofoncha resigns. All of them, they keep resigning and they're talking against the IG. Then there is a problem going on. There is a problem. One person, problem. This one, problem. This one. There is a problem that has to be fixed within the system so that you should avoid all this thing because it affects every other group. It makes people to lose trust in other groups that are doing a formidable and credible job. I owe no one no apologies, eh? I owe no one no apologies. No one has ever, when I don't even know Tapang. If I don't hear Tapang that today, when I see Tapang, I owe no one no apologies. None. I'm not here to ask for favor that you follow me because my blog is not that kind of blog that you click and they put a donation link that please support me. I don't run paid news blogs. I run free news blogs. So I'm not looking for popularity. Get me clear. There are other bloggers that if you want to read their news articles, you will pay money to read. For me, I don't run it. It's free. It's open. I don't run any kind of blog. It's a free page. And that's why I don't look for popularity. I see it as it is. And you would hear it. And I give the strategies. There are people who are trying to please everybody. I'm not here to please people. Oh no, let me not speak against this one. Let me hide this one. We're in a war. We are in a war. So I'm not looking for popularity. Tapang is already popular. That's why people will always watch Tapang whether on a coachy or do how. They will always watch me. My followers will always be my followers. If you're not my follower, you will never be my follower no matter what I do to please you. You will never like me. Even if you're my follower, you always like me, even no matter what people say about Tapang. So there's no way you can make me not liked by my people. There's no way. And so I will tell you the truth because I'm not here to please people. I'm not here to make followers. I'm here to give you what wins. So thank you very much, my dear brothers and sisters. Of course, keep the fight. We shall win this war. We shall make this war an inclusive one. Donate. As to summarize his words, there are two people I know, and you know for sure a fact. Akwanga, whom I've eaten with, he's my father. I consider him as my own father in the US. Ayabacho Lucas, whom I've never met in person. I've never seen him eyeball to eyeball. I wish to see him. That's my boss, and that's the president I have of Ambazonia. Ayaba, that I know and I have never seen. Those are the two people that I wish we opened our eyes and recognized that these guys mean best for us. If you want to compare with Akwanga, please show me a result of what you have done in Ambazonia that makes La Republic to panic. Show me a result. Show me a result slip. If you want to compare with Ayaba, show me a result slip of what you have done in Ambazonia that makes La Republic to fear you. If you want to compare with Ayaba, pay a flight, go to La Republic and see whether they'll arrest you. They'll not arrest you. None of them will look at you. I'll base judgment on people's result slips. If your result slip does not show that you are a threat to La Republic du Cameroon, please forgive my sins. You are a useless fool. You're useless. If you want to compare with Akwanga or you want to compare with Ayaba, you are a useless fool. Don't try to put your name or fit your name into any list that you are a threat to La Republique. You are not a threat. Don't think that speaking on social media makes you a threat. No. There are people who speak on social media that I know them. They go to La Republique du Cameroon and come back. No one arrests them. So speaking on social media does not make you a threat because they accept the right to journalism. What makes you a threat to La Republique du Cameroon are the actions you do on the ground against La Republique du Cameroon. If you are doing actions on the ground to please La Republique du Cameroon by fighting our own people, you are not a threat to La Republique. They will never arrest you. If you spend 2 hours on live videos insulting Ayabacho, Lucas, and all this, you are not a threat to La Republique du Cameroon, and they will never arrest you because you are just helping Chiruma to do his job. Chiruma's job is to make you hate Ayaba. So you spend your time to tell people how to hate Ayaba, hate Tapang, hate this. So you are assisting Chiruma to do his job. He will never ever put you in anything like a whatever terrorist list. Never. You are not a threat. The only thing that you can do is that you have to fit your name into that list. You have to do some bonus thing to put a list that, oh, La Republique has put you a threat. You are not a threat. Don't compare. In this world, there will always be people who are greater and lesser than yourselves. So stop comparing. There will always be people who are greater and who are lesser than yourselves. Stop comparing. Yes, guys. Thanks very much for watching me. I love you all. My heart goes to you guys. And with God forgiving all my sins, my political sins I've done in Ambazonia and in La Republique du Cameroon, against La Republique du Cameroon terrorists, if God keeps my sins aside, I bless you all, guys. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, may God Almighty, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, grant your heart desires. And this Sunday should be the most peaceful Sunday for everyone. The woman where they know if born Pekin, may God make una born Pekin. The man the way they know if born, may God give una heart desires una born Pekin. Everybody's problems, I pray God Almighty not to look at my sins, but to bless you with the powers to give you victory, to give your heart desires. And I still love you all, despite our differences. Thank you very much, guys, and see you tomorrow. My lines are always open. You can call me after this and let us talk. My name is Tapang Ivo-Ambazonia. I am the spokesperson of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the Ministry of Defense in Ambazonia, and I'm the military strategist at the office of the President of the Ambazonia Governing Authority, His Excellency President Dr. Ayabacho Lucas. Bye-bye.